We are finally back at the stone house after what feels like forever on holidays, and we're tackling the stairs so that we actually have a way to get up to the deck. And the first job is to take all the stones that we put under the house back out because we took your feedback on board and we are doing stone edge stairs. So we've dug these holes out so that the stones can sit a little bit lower than the ground, and we're concreting those in and then concreting the stone walls as well. So first job is to make sure that the holes are actually where they need to be. They're square, they're in line with the deck, and they're nice and straight. And then we got some massive, massive boulders, and Iggy kept getting in the way to place down to give us a really solid base. Then we basically tried to become stonemasons. Iggy was no help whatsoever, as per usual, and grabbed stones from all around the house and tried to build up these walls. And this was probably the most humbling experience yet on the stone house. I feel like every other job we've thought we've done quite well at, but this really was so much harder than we thought it was going to be to make a stone wall look good. I don't know how they did the entire house like this. It was so difficult to get right. So this took us about 2 days. It was pouring with rain in the middle, so that made things a little bit harder as well. But one by one, we put all the stones in place and managed to have our 2 side walls finished in the 2 days. And then because the rocks were not exactly even, we added some concrete just to the bits that the wooden slats were going to sit on to make sure they were all level and also the right heights. And then gave it a bit of a clean up so that it just looked a little bit more like the rest of the house. Still not perfect, but definitely better than it was. Then the last job was to put the wooden slats in. So we had these recycled Jarrah beams from down on the farm. So Vaughan measured them to length and cut them all into the right size boards. Then we gave it a little bit of a sand, not too much because we want it to be a little bit rough, not too smooth that it becomes slippery. And then there was just a little bit of tweaking to that concrete we'd put on and some cuts required to make sure that it could actually slot into where the rocks sat. And then one by one, we put the slats in place. We have not secured them down yet because the concrete takes about 30 days to dry fully. So we're leaving that for 30 days and then we're going to drill those slats into the concrete bases that we put. And then where those brackets are, we are going to put the balustrades. But again, we want to make sure the concrete is fully set before we go and add balustrades. So those balustrades will match the ones on the rest of the balcony and they'll all connect down. But for now, it definitely got to a better place. Still one of the most humbling jobs that we have done on this stone house, but there is now a way to get on the deck.